Up Coward, and I'm going to roast him. Coward just doesn't know what he's talking about half the time. But a guy who does know what he's talking about, and he knows the quarterback position very, very well. It's our boy Sean Salisbury. We love Sean here at 95.7 The Game. Hopefully he's doing more work for us this season with the Football Hour, with Lone Neal, of course, Sean Salisbury doing big-time work in Houston, Texas. Sean, what's happening, man? Long time no talk.
I wonder if my invite on the show got lost in the mail all this time. Great to be on with you guys. You're too busy celebrating NBA titles for me, but great to be on with you guys, man. I appreciate you.
Hey, we're hungover off that Moet from the parade about a month ago. 4-8, you know. We're trying to get number 5, but right now it's football season. We got word yesterday that the Niners have officially granted Jimmy Garoppolo permission to seek a trade. So the Garoppolo era is over in San Francisco, and we've been kind of rehashing some of the memories, some of the mishaps with Jimmy Garoppolo. But now with the shoulder injury, and we're hearing all kind of conflicting reports. He's been throwing for a few weeks, but he can't throw more than 40 yards. If you're the Cleveland Browns, the Colts, or whatever team's looking for a quarterback, which is not many, Sean, how would you proceed to go after Jimmy Garoppolo, knowing that he may not be able to throw deep until mid-August?
Yeah, I would probably, if I know he can throw in mid-August, and Jimmy's a smart guy, so I wouldn't have an issue with him learning my system. I think veterans can get ready quickly. Jimmy's a winner. He does win. Maybe not flashy, and he's not going to carry a team for 6 weeks. He's not one of those quarterbacks, but you put him on a good team like the Niners or Cleveland, he can win for you. He's the difference in whether you miss the playoffs or you don't. So there's a 2-game difference, and he's an upgrade with what Cleveland has now, and he'd be, obviously Indianapolis would have to look down the road because they got their guy now. So it is limited. You're 100% correct. So as long as I know that in August at some point he's going to hit the 100% level, that's not what turns me off. The fact of the matter is we're so late in it. What in the world now, if I'm the team that the 49ers are trying to trade him to, I am going to hold the 49ers hostage, guys, because you're thinking, well, they already know who their starter's going to be. We know they want to move him. They've given him the freedom and his agent to go out and seek a trade. Why would I give up a whole bunch to get him? So they're going to lose value that way. But Jimmy does bring value to a team. So whether the Deshaun Watson situation is going to obviously take care of that. If it's 6 games, if it's a full season, then it depends on where that comes in for Jimmy. Jimmy's a good player. I don't think Jimmy's going to a bad team and going to make it. For instance, let's say Baker wasn't in Carolina. Jimmy is not going to make them a playoff team. Jimmy would keep the Cleveland Browns and possibly make them a playoff team. I think that's the type of player, and we've seen it in San Francisco. So limited. I'm not real worried, honestly, guys, about the shoulder as long as I know that they're saying that, you know what, structurally it's going to be fine. He just strengthened it up in the middle of August. If you told me the middle of October, November, different story. So I think that it's limited, though. If I'm the 49ers, I wait till somebody's desperate. I don't want to give him away, even though Trey Lance is going to be your starter.
We watched the Joe Montana Peacock doc where they were breaking down him and Steve DeBerg and their relationship and how they would go over film and stuff. I was listening. Bonta pointed out the Jamarcus Russell podcast where he's saying nobody was helping him as a veteran. Trey had 1 year being in that quarterback room with Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's say there isn't a trade partner and you're running the 49ers, and we just throw the money out of the way. I know that's a part of it, but from a team-building aspect, for the growth of Trey Lance, is it better to keep Jimmy around for some of that tutelage in the film room, or is that too much pressure on Trey? How do you weigh that as a former player and a quarterback?
That's one hell of a question. I was talking about this on my show this morning. Guys, I'm not in the feel-good, worried about somebody's feelings business. When I drafted Trey Lance and traded up to get him for a couple number ones and basically was saying, you are our future, that is the confidence I showed in you. You shouldn't be insecure. We believe in you. We're turning the reins over to you. And I'm not saying Trey does, but perception around is, oh, my gosh, there's a threat in the building.
Yes.
We play pro football, man. There's always going to be a threat in the building. If I'm worried about a guy who's worried about a guy who's been there and that, oh, my gosh, what if I throw a pick? I got to look to the sidelines. Kyle and John Lynch know that that Trey shouldn't have to play that way. And Trey should know that, too. I have no problem with it. I wouldn't draft a guy that I thought was a fragile personality and trade up a couple first-rounders to get him if I was worried about him looking to the sidelines if he threw a pick or made a bad decision. This is his team now. and it's also the personality of the backup. Now, Jimmy wants to play, but I don't look at Jimmy Garoppolo as a guy who's going to come in there and seek more media time and cause people trouble and try to become one of those headaches that people are saying, well, damn, Jimmy's making it tough. I believe Jimmy Garoppolo would be a guy who would watch film. I've been in rooms like that, guys, where the quarterback room is when there's peace and people are helping and everybody wants success, everybody wins. I think a lot of it has to do with who the personality is. I don't think Jimmy, judging from the way his teammates in San Francisco talk about him, would be that guy. But, of course, he'd have his eye towards an opportunity to play. It's just not going to be there unless something happened to Trey. But you do get an insurance policy. This is a playoff team that was close to the Super Bowl last year, a handful of plays away. Who knows if the pick happens if they're not in the Super Bowl? So you got a roster. I wouldn't give him away, but if you're Trey Lance and you're that building, Trey Lance should walk in with his chest out, shoulders back, and feed off everything if Jimmy stays there has to offer. I don't need to worry about my quarterback's insecurity. If I do, then he shouldn't be my future.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about who the backup is. A good veteran quarterback helps when he's not playing, and if he is playing, he still helps the young guy when the young guy asks for help.
Hell of an answer there, Sean, because I'm with you. I think Trey Lance is mentally stronger than what people put out there. There's this notion that, if Jimmy shows up to camp, what is it going to do to his mindset? I actually think Trey Lance would relish that opportunity, even if it was a competition for the starting job against Jimmy Garoppolo.
Don't all guys do that? Don't all the great – think about all the great ones, guys. Listen, the one thing I know about this business and quarterbacks, of course there's a hint of insecurity in anybody in any job. But you want it, of course. But listen, when they say – think about in Trey, think about in order to be this good, you had to have some – confidence and the ability to overcome. You have to know about competition. He's seen it before. And what they gave up to get you. Dude, they gave up to move up and say, you are our guy. There's no reason for him to be insecure. I know easier said than done, but now listen, you're a fifth-round pick hanging on for your job. The guy got hurt. He's coming back. I get it. But this is his team, and they've already told the agent, go get a trade, dude. This is our future, that Jimmy can go out and get a trade. I want my quarterback to not only love the competition, but to know no matter what happens, this is my team. Every great player I've ever been around, there may be the hint of insecurity drives them to be better, but they relish and love the competition. And because we haven't seen enough of them, we don't know. I doubt Trey Lance is a fragile personality. If he loses a job or doesn't play well, it's not going to be because Jimmy Garoppolo's sitting in the office. Yeah. If it is, he was never going to be a player anyway. Yeah. I don't think I'd worry about that. I think Trey Lance has a dynamic skill set. Now he just needs reps and needs to see defenses.
All right, so next Wednesday and Thursday is 49er training camp. It's opening up. I'm going to be down there. Sean, former quarterback, what should I be looking for from Trey Lance? What would you be looking at? Is it a specific physical thing? Is there some intangible? Is it in between drills? Walk me through what I should be looking for that you would be looking for in terms of, he checks these boxes.
I love that question. And another thing I was discussing today is people are going to look at preseason games, right? Oh, my gosh. I think preseason games, aside from the combine, are the most overrated times of the year. What you're going to look for, it's not one specific thing. Hey, listen, we know he can throw it, right, guys? We've watched it. We know how he can get out. All the physical measurables that we see, we know he's got. And the reps are going to come with seeing defense. Listen, the only way you can understand coverage, it never looks on the whiteboard that you're drawing it up on tape like it looks when the live stuff's happening. So that's just going to come with seeing and the repetition of understanding coverage and knowing what you're looking for and being coached through it, football IQ process. What you should be looking for, and I tell people this, it's not the 10 throws in the preseason game. That's just validation of the fruits of your labor in the practice. It's the everyday grind of going out there and leading when you're not playing well in one drill, to be able to get over a bad 7-on-7 and apply it to blitz pickup. And then watch how the players respond to him. Watch how quickly they get out of the huddle. Listen to the verbiage. All the things, measurables and things you can't measurable, intangible and tangible things. It's the grind of everyday practice. Does he tire out? I don't mean physically, but can you see the mental lapses come? Or even if he's having a bad drill, is he still maximizing the players around him? It sounds cheesy. It does. but it's the whole process, not one day of practice. He's going to have a bad day where you're going to walk out. You know those guys who chart, and we're getting on Twitter, and the 50 throws when he missed a throw during one-on-one. Well, guess what? He's human. I've never seen a perfect practice or perfect game. But it's the entire the culmination of his off season and the entire preseason of practice every day, getting through the grind, and you'll see how players respond to him and how he responds to them. Great leaders are not command and control anymore, guys. They are trust and inspire, and you'll start to see that. The physical stuff doesn't bother me. I already know what he's got. It's how you handle and maximize the guys around you, and you'll know. You don't even have to go out and touch it. You will see it from a distance, how he handles drill to drill, day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute, and by the time it starts, and then he'll go through some struggles, but my thing isn't the struggles. It's the next time, the next throw, the next practice, and how guys respond to him. Physically, there is no question what he's about. Now we got to see him get reps, and then the emotional stuff which comes with the grind of everyday publicity, the good stuff and the bad stuff of playing the position. They got a good one. Now we just got to see him play on a regular basis.
Sean Salisbury, 790 down in Houston. Sports Talk 790 down in Houston, Texas. Of course, a former USC and NFL quarterback on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. With all that said about Trey, what is the biggest concern you have with his playing ability, his skill set, moving into this 2022 season as he takes the reins as a quarterback of the 49ers?
Making sure he doesn't have the hero syndrome. I'm going to tell you guys what happened in the process of he does not have to make every play. He doesn't. See, it's the great players. We look at Mahomes and Josh Allen. Take you back to that playoff game last year, guys. We saw spectacular sidearm throws and scrambles, all those things that come with, quite frankly, you think we can teach Mahomes to be falling down?
No.
Ain't no quarterback coach in the world teaching that. That's just called DNA, and
yes.
You're just better than the other cat.
Mm-hmm.
It's the other things, guys. For me, for Trey Lance, it's going to be not only the repetitions of seeing going through the good ones and the bad ones, how he deals with it every day, the grind of being the starting quarterback. But guys, more importantly for me, is the simple play. Honest to God, the simple play. Look at all the great players in the world. Spectacular. Listen, I can run a great quarterback out there, and we can be throwing balls against air like 40-yard deep balls. 2 of them are going to fall out of bounds. 1's going to be a little underthrown. 5 are going to be caught, and 1 may be dropped. Okay, so what's that add up to? 50%? 60%? Now, go to what the Breezes and the Bradys and the Russ Wilsons and the Mannings, the great players week in and week out, what do? The spectacular comes from the simple. Trey Lance's natural ability is going to do what he does when we're playing, when we're playing in the park, when you're watching him practice, just the ability to, on the urgent, make plays out of reaction those 6 to 8 times a game when he's just got to to do what we do as athletes or what he's going to do because he's special. It's a simple play. On 3rd and 3, don't yank the flat into the ground. Hit the flat route. Give me the first down. He does not have to make, especially on this team. He's got good players. They got Super Bowl roster. Make me the simple play. Hit singles and doubles. The home run will come. And then when the home run's there, then hit it into the upper tank. But the best players I've ever been around, from Warren Moon to all the great ones, spectacular came once in a while. The simple plays you don't miss. The underneath stuff, the check down. And you don't have to be a hero. Some guys try to be a hero. What happens in the process of being a hero, you end up throwing the ball to the other team. Understand what you got. Understand not just your strengths, but your weaknesses, and let your stuff go. The good plays will come, and the big plays. Hit me singles, make the simple play, and in the process, his natural ability will make spectacular. The great ones all make the simple play.
As Sean Salisbury, he'll be one of our many football contributors throughout the NFL season here at 95.7 The Game. We'll be talking to a lot more as football season ramps up. 49 days away from Bills and Rams on Thursday Night Football to kick off the 2022 NFL season. Sean, always good to hear from you. We cannot wait, and we'll see where Jimmy Garoppolo lands, where his next job is, or will he just get outright cut by the Niners, and we'll see what happens there. Sean, thanks so much.
Love you guys, man. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate you.
Anytime. Sean Salisbury.
Thanks, Sean.
Coming on, Trey Lance. A couple things I want to throw out there before we move on to the changeover. Did you